there, Middle Earth Strategy Battle Gamers. So I'm here with a very special video. Ardacon is going on. It's the biggest MESBG tournament in the world, and there was a very big, sizable news release from the Middle Earth team. So I'm going to start off with, well, I guess I'll call it the smaller stuff, even though it's all very cool. There was a bunch of new releases for the new supplement called Rise of Angmar. So the first thing I'll talk about are these Men of Karn Doom. This is something I called a long time ago when they first announced the supplement. They are announced in the lore. I know people have proxied them in the past using, Warriors of the Dead and stuff. So I think these models are, they look kind of like a barbarian. They give me kind of some Dunland vibes in terms of just evil men, barbarians. I think the sculpts are cool, and I'm gonna kind of just guess they're gonna be. I doubt they'll be Fight 4. I'm gonna guess they're gonna be Fight 3 base, probably Defense 3 base, Courage 2 or 3, maybe give them Fearless. So they got, judging by their weapons, they have spears and shields, and it looks like you can give them maces also. I mean, I like the models; they're cool. Kind of what I would expect from a Men of Karn Doom. Then up next is the new evil Man of Karn Doom hero. Or I guess his technical name is Warlord of Karn Doom. His name is Aldract. This guy is jacked. Looks like he has a shield and a mace. I don't think it's a two-handed mace, just a mace. But I'm going to guess he's going to be similar to Urukai Hero or someone like Gorl. Probably 3 attacks, strength 5. They'll probably give him fight 5. And then he has a really cool special rule called Battle Frenzy. It allows him to declare a free heroic combat so long as he killed something in the previous turn. So it's a unique rule. I don't think there's any rules like this in the game currently. Generally, models just get free heroic combats, like Thorn or Elendil. But I think it's a nice rule, especially paired with possibly other heroes like the Witch King or some of the other things that we'll kind of show later on in this video. I'm going to guess he's probably a mid-tier hero, 3 might, 1 will, 1 fate, 2 wounds, if I had to take a guess. I bet he's fight 5, I doubt he'd be fight 6. Like I said, these guys kind of going to be Dunland vibes. Then next is Fraked, the vassal of the Witch King. So he kind of gives me a shaman kind of vibe, something out of Warhammer almost. I think it's a really cool model. Though, kind of, he kind of reminds me of. Honestly, it sounds weird. Kind of reminds me of someone that could be Radagast the Brown. But he has a. He's a shaman-looking character that doesn't actually have magical powers. They're called incantation of powers. He chants, and his chants are able to conjure strength, swiftness, and durability. Think about this. This is actually 3 really good buffs, especially depending on the stat line of these other Karn Doom profiles. So for instance, Angmar I don't think has access to a drum. I could be wrong, but you can, or you might be able to take Orc Drum, I'm not sure, but if the swiftness allows your guys to move a little bit faster, then you can cover some distance in scenarios you need to. If your Warriors of Karn Doom are low defense, then perhaps you can give them a defense buff. Or even if they're a lower fight value, you can use an incantation in a scenario where you need to have a higher fight value. So I think this guy could be a very good, unique support piece for your Karn Doom armies, and I think that there probably will be a Karn Doom Legendary Legion where your Men of Carndoom are frenzied, or hatred to Arnor. So the next profile and model that they showcased was a good model. So this is Aranarth, the first chieftain of the Dunedain. He is the son of Arvidui. He did not become the king of Arnor. Instead, he would make the line of the Dunedain chieftains. He has expert shot, and he has another special rule called Chieftain of the Dunedain, which I'm sure is going to be a nice buff for the Rangers. Expert shot's nice. Getting 2 shots a turn, he's probably going to be similar, if I had to guess, similar to Halbarad in his stat line, with 2 bow shots a turn. So it's a very good buff. And I wouldn't be surprised if they had another Ranger or Legendary Legion based around this era. The model's cool. He reminds me, it's kind of nice and refreshing that even though we're getting all these new models, going back to other supplements, they haven't changed the aesthetic of the stuff that's come before. So he looks like he could be thrown in with a current Ranger of the North army, and he matches completely with him. Just a nice kind of facelift. Then the next model is the Shadow of Rundower. So I'm going to take a stab in the dark that this is going to be a named Barrowite. So now that there could be a channeled Paralyze, which is a scary thought. And I think that it's very cool looking. He's a character, I'm going to guess he's probably going to have, 1 or 2 might, terror, all the things that you would expect from a spirit model. And I don't know, like, his other special role. I'm going to guess that, it's going to be something that can stack with Harbinger of Evil, or maybe it expands the range for your army bonus, because, everything within 3 inches of a spirit model causes terror. But I'm looking forward to seeing his profile. I think it's a really cool one. Next up is a model that currently has a profile in the game and currently has a model in the game, and that's Birder, the Hill Troll Chieftain. This is I'd say a big improvement. The Birder model that there currently is, I thought was a very good model. But this one is just, I think he's a bigger scale. He's not a bigger base. And I think he's probably going to get some reworking on rules, because he's going to have his own Legendary Legion where he can use, run his own horde of, up next, these guys, the Hill Trolls. I'm going to assume that there's going to be a Legendary Legion where Birder is your leader, and you can have a Hill Troll, and there are a few other models I'll kind of show. But these Hill Trolls look really slick. They got... again, they kind of fit the aesthetic of the Cave Trolls, and then they have their own special rule called Hill Troll Intelligence, which is apparently going to have them stand out above the Mordor Trolls and the Cave Trolls for Moria. And apparently Birder is also going to have this rule. I'm going to guess that it's going to be something to do with being resistant to magic or something like that, because that's kind of the troll's bane. And lastly, this is the last thing they revealed for Rise of Angmar, are the werewolves. So again, in the War of the Rings supplement that came out back in 2005 or 6, the werewolves were in there, as well as other heroes like Elfhelm and Darwine. That's why I was kind of guessing that they were just going to bring those guys into canon for MESBG, for the strategy battle game, the core game, and then eventually I think they will have a War of the Ring reshoot. We'll talk about that later on in this video. But these werewolves are really cool models. I'm very glad that they're bringing them in. It's going to change the dynamic, if you will. And these guys are probably going to be, I'm going to guess, movement 8, strength 5, fight 5, 2 attack, maybe 3 attack on the charge, because they do have a special rule called Feral Charge. Sends their foes sprawling to the ground. perhaps is something similar to the goats for Iron Hills, where they can knock a model to the ground. When they charge in, you have to roll a dice. But I have a feeling they're going to be something that you're going to want to throw in to pretty much, I'm going to guess, any Angmar army. Have some fast-moving assassins. Someone that can work with Gulavar so he's not getting focused down. And yeah, I'm very ecstatic that they have the werewolves finally in. So they have a really good lineup for Angmar stuff coming out. Arnor, I have a feeling that that's all we're gonna get, and I have a feeling that they're gonna, maybe have a new Gulavar model just because they have a new Birder model. Gulavar has been a model that's been out of print for a very long time. I believe he was an all metal model, and then they turned him into all fine cast, and I have a feeling that he's also probably gonna get a new model. This is the, by the way, this is the cover for the new supplement coming out. It's looks cool. It has the Witch King, kind of similar to all the other supplements where they have a live action picture from a scene in the movie that kind of takes that that supplement. And speaking of supplements, this is an announcement that I did not foresee. So we are going to be getting a new Rules Edition. It's been 6 years since the Battle of Pelennor Fields came out, and they're going to be releasing a Lord of the Rings, the armies of the Lord of the Rings and armies of the Hobbit, it looks like, who are going to be getting a refreshed rules update for the armies. I'm going to assume that they're probably going to be looking at maybe updating army bonuses, maybe army matrix. It says every profile has been reworked so that units and characters, actions, and on-screen presence are better represented on the table, and your adventures in Middle Earth feel exactly as they should. So that is that is like a piece of information that I didn't thought. I thought that we were gonna get the supplement, and then maybe a few more years we'd be getting a new edition. So I have a feeling that we're gonna be seeing a lot of changes with characters like, hopefully, Aemir, because you guys know I'm a huge Rohan guy. Hopefully Aemir will finally get that Fight 6 that I want him to have. But one can only hope. I'm not really sure. I've heard some rumors on things and stuff I'm not going to go into, but I think that in terms of the news video that this is, that the new edition will be quite good. It's going to definitely refresh things, and I do think, kind of to quote other people, that the edition we have currently is probably the best adaptation of the game we've had. And I think that the people that are working on the MESBG team know what they're doing, and that I have nothing but a positive outlook on it. I don't think that we're going to get, any change can be negative, but I think that we'll probably be seeing positive changes. And then lastly, we have this piece of information. This is the War of the Rohirrim. This was in the same article with the new rule set. So I have a feeling that we're probably going to get this and the new armies of Lord of the Rings and armies of the Hobbit around the same time. Perhaps the profiles from the War of the Rohirrim stuff will be in the Lord of the Rings armies, because you can see in the top the Lord of the Rings. So I think that as a Rohan player, I'm very excited for this. Perhaps we'll get a new starter set. Perhaps we're gonna get some plastic Rohan, some plastic Dunland characters. Helm Hammerhand's probably gonna get a facelift to match his on-screen, counterpart. Which is a shame, because I do think that the Helm Hammerhand is a very cool model that we have now. But that's gonna pretty much conclude this video. I'm not gonna go too much into theories and stuff. I might make another video for that, but I think that we got some exciting news coming, and that there's nothing but positive stuff for the future of our hobby. So if you guys liked this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video.